to those council members who wish to make statements. I give the floor to the representative of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. President, for convening this meeting on Resolution 2231. And thank you to Undersecretary DiCarlo for your briefing. This Council is and should remain seized of the non-proliferation issue, especially with respect to the Islamic Republic of Iran. It is clear, as demonstrated by the issuance of the Secretary General's recent report on Resolution 2231, that, with the exception of paragraphs 7, 8, and 16 to 20, this resolution and its related practical arrangements remain in effect. Additionally, pursuant to the snapback process outlined in Resolution 2231, the Council decided to reinstate Resolutions 1696, 1737, 1747, 1803, 1835, and 1929. These resolutions are not arbitrary or punitive, but rather narrowly scoped to address a nuclear program that seeks to operate out of view of the international community and in continued non-compliance with its Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty mandated Comprehensive Safeguards Agreement with the IAEA, as reaffirmed last month by the IAEA Board. The reimposition of these proliferation-focused measures reflects the Council's long-standing concern, reaffirmed in its September 19th vote to restore these resolutions, about the Iranian nuclear file. As noted on the UN website, the 1737 Committee was immediately reestablished concurrent with the reinstatement of these resolutions. The United States will continue to work to ensure this committee is a fully functioning, active body. The United States continues to prefer a negotiated solution to this matter. Absent that solution, the Council must operationalize the 1737 Committee. Moreover, these resolutions, if implemented by member states in good faith, can constrain the space for potential escalation and uncertainty. The United States therefore urges its fellow members to support the expeditious implementation of the reinstated UN Security Council resolutions to realize their potential as a bulwark against insecurity. Thank you.
I thank the representative of the United States for the statement. I give the floor to the representative of Denmark.
Thank you, Mr. President, and let me also thank Undersecretary General DiCarlo for her briefing. Mr. President, as we have persistently underlined, Iran must never develop or acquire nuclear weapons. We have repeatedly expressed our concerns about Iran's nuclear trajectory and the fact that the IAEA is unable to provide assurances that the Iranian nuclear program is exclusively peaceful. We are also gravely concerned by Iran curtailing cooperation with the IAEA, who has lost continuity of knowledge and has for 6 months now been unable to provide information on the status or whereabouts of the enriched uranium stockpiles in Iran. This is deeply alarming. We see no credible civilian justification neither for hiding nor accumulating highly enriched uranium stockpiles. Mr. President, Denmark considers that Iran has been in non-compliance with its obligations since 2019. Numerous IAEA reports document this fact. As of 13 June 2025, Iran's enriched uranium stockpile was nearly 50 times the JCPOA limit. Iran had more than 450 kilograms of uranium enriched up to 60%. No other country without a nuclear weapons program enriches uranium to such levels and at such scale. Over the years, the E3 has vigorously worked for a diplomatic solution. Before the activation of the snapback, Iran was offered the opportunity to extend the provisions of Resolution 2231, provided Iran took steps to address 3 immediate concerns. 1, to show commitment to resume political negotiations. 2, to resume cooperation with the IAEA. And 3, to address issues relating to uranium enrichment and storage. Such steps from the Iranian side would have demonstrated willingness to comply with their obligations and to find a diplomatic solution. It would also have contributed to assure the international community that Iran's nuclear program is entirely peaceful. Iran, unfortunately, did not choose this path. Therefore, the E3's activation of the snapback was a last resort, which Denmark fully supported. Consequently, we call on Iran and all UN member states to fully comply with the 6 reinstated Security Council resolutions. Mr. President, we do not consider the snapback of sanctions and nuclear restrictions as the end of diplomacy. On the contrary, we believe that it brings us closer to the only durable solution to the Iran nuclear issue, which is one reached through diplomacy and dialogue. Denmark calls on Iran to return to the negotiation table and work towards an agreement that addresses the serious doubts about the nature of its nuclear program. Such negotiations will have to be based on reliable and impartial information on the status of Iran's nuclear program. We strongly urge Iran to return to full compliance with its legally binding safeguards obligations. Mr. President, to